This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. In the last session, we were talking about how entries are posted to open item GL account. Please everybody go on mute. How open item entries are posted in GL account and how do we post a clearing entry to it. Now let us try to understand the different points. Now keep in your mind whatever the entries that we are posting now is only to get an idea how entries are posted, because going forward we will be posting many entries in AP, AR everywhere. Everywhere we will be using the similar kind of accounting entries. Same logics are used in every accounting document. Okay, don't get confused if you are not able to understand. These are repeated multiple times. Okay, the scenario logic is the same, which we will be repeating multiple times. If you are not able to understand it now, don't worry about it. You will be able to understand in the upcoming sessions in detail. Now let me record something called document corrections or cancellations, reversals, resetting. Normally we will be using a different terminology wherein somebody say that I want to correct the document, or I want to cancel the document, I want to reverse the document, or I want to reset the document. In which case, what scenario we will be using, let us try to understand. Okay, so I'll put one example here. I'll put example number 1. Let's say rent paid amounting, let's say 12,500 by cash. Let's assume that the transaction is rent paid by cash 12,500. Now we are all aware that what is the accounting entry to record this account to this transaction is your accounting entry will be rent debit and we will be crediting cash for 12,500 and 12,500. This is the ideal accounting entry which is supposed to be posted. And let's assume that there are some corrections to be made in this. Let's assume that entry is posted, but there are some corrections in it. And when you're talking about there are some corrections in the entry, you need to understand what corrections are possible, what corrections are not possible. I think everybody should go on mute. It's echoing. Okay. Now, first thing what we need to understand, this is the transaction. I think someone is not on mute. Who is it? All right. Now, first let us assume that what is the wrong.
Sir, your voice is not coming.
Sorry.
We're not able to
First,
listen.
yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes.
You're audible.
Okay. Yeah. Now let us try to understand what went wrong in this accounting entry. Only when we understand what is wrong, accordingly we will be able to decide what needs to be done. If you do not know what is the mistake or what went wrong in the entry, it is practically not possible to guide anything on any transaction. Now, even when you're in any project, this is how you have to act. Your user will call you or your client will tell you that we have some entries wherein some mistakes are there or something we need to correct from the entry. And you need to understand not everything can be corrected. Certain things you need to make the correction, certain things you need to reclass, certain things you need to reverse, certain things you need to reset. How you are going to decide what needs to be done? Only based on the error or the mistake that you come to know. Unless and until you do not know what happened, you will not be able to tell what needs to be done. Whether you are a fresher or whether you are high-fi experienced candidate consultant, it is one and the same. Make sure you first try to understand what happened. Only then you will be able to provide a solution what needs to be done. So don't assume or don't expect that the moment you come to know the problem, you will give the solution. It's not going to happen for anybody. So assume that in this, I would say point number 1, amount is posted or amount posted as 1,25,000 instead of 12,500. In first case, let's assume that amount is posted wrong. It is posted for 1,25,000 instead of 12,500. Quite common. There may be a typo mistake from the user. Instead of giving 2 zeros, he would have given 3 zeros. Debit and credit, he added additional 0. You ended up making a payment of 1,25,000 instead of 12,500. This is one mistake. Second one, I'll write the similar entry. Amount posted as 1,250 instead of 12,500. In one case, 10 excess. In one case, 10 short. If you post entry with extra 0, what is going to happen? If you post entry with shortage of 0, what is going to happen? Slowly you need to understand the impact, how this is going to affect your financials and what needs to be done. Next one, I would say GL account used was not correct. Let's assume that GL account is not correct. Maybe debit side or on the credit side, assume that one GL account is not correct. Fourth one, it can be like profit center is not correct. Or I would say document type is not correct. Okay, like this you can write n number of rectifications, n number of corrections where it can go wrong. Now in each of the scenario, in each of the case, you need to understand if this is the situation, if this is the scenario, how we are going to rectify the transaction. And when you're able to understand this, it is practically very much helpful for you to understand business processes, how mistakes will happen in any project by the user, how we are going to rectify it. Now first one, if we assume that amount is posted as 1,25,000 instead of 12,500. Let me post the entry first. So I'll go to FS00. LEIN, rent is what we are looking at. If I go to operating expenses, I'll pick rent account, copy the rent GL account. Let me go to FB50. I'll post with today's date. I'll put rent 1. This is the account. I'll put credit cash account, rent debit, cash credit. So our actual amount was 12,500. Now I'm going to put 1,25,000. 10 excess I'm writing here. Text I'll put rent 1. Here also rent 1. Profit center, let me take LEIN01, LEIN01. Let me try to post this entry. I posted the entry. Now let me pull the report. Assume that this entry is posted at the end of the month. What normally happens during the month end? We all will be preparing MIS statements or financial statement called TB P&L balance sheet. Assume that your client is working on MIS finalization or P&L finalization, in which they identified that the rent account is showing some abnormal number. Let's run the report for rent. If they run the rent GL account, it is giving you a balance of 2,25,000. Or if I see the rent of this particular month, For example, all items, posting date from today date I'll take 20/02/2024. Only for this particular date, if I pull the report, if I run, it is supposed to be 12,500, whereas your report is giving you 1,25,000. It is very high number. This is very high number. You cannot accept it. Now, because of this, what is happening? Instead of showing a profit in your report, you are ending up showing a loss. Because of this, instead of showing a profit, your P&L may be becoming a loss, or instead of showing profit, your profit is coming down. Something has happened, and this is directly impacting your financials. This is directly affecting your financials. Your client will say that no, we posted one entry, however this is posted incorrectly, now we want to rectify this. Now there are multiple ways to rectify this problem or these kind of issues. You need to know what is the status of this entry. It is not always about reversing the entry. The moment you find any rectifications or any mistakes, the only point that strikes our mind is reverse. We immediately think about reversing the document. That is not the solution every time. Why that is not the solution every time? Meaning, this is a payment entry. When I say this is a payment entry, for this particular 1,25,000, we have already given the amount. Assuming that entry is posted. Now, once the entry is posted, let's say that from your user side, they will take the printout of the JV and they will go to the cashier and they will collect the money. They will deposit in the vendor account, or they will give it to the landlord or the owner. Whosoever is supposed to receive the rent, they will be receiving the rent based on the voucher copy. Assume that this is what the process defined in your client. Now what is happening? The person who prepared the voucher or the person who prepared the entry is different. The person who is going to remit the money to the owner is different. Now he say that, assuming that I have created this entry and then I have told you that this is the JV number, this is the rental in document number 101 all zeros 11. Okay, fine, understood. Then you open the document. You do not know that amount is 1,25,000 or 12,500, because not everybody knows what is the amount, why we are paying. Not every user knows in the organization. These are all secrets, confidential information. You do not know why this amount. The breakup, detailed information, nobody will get to know. I don't know that, I have given this to the other person. Other person took the printout of this document and they went to the cash collection team or the cashier. They showed this voucher, they showed this document number, and cashier had given this much amount. Point number one, cashier might find out, no, we are not paying 1,25,000 cash payment. If the payment is more than 20,000 or more than 30,000, cash payments are not allowed. You need to do a bank transfer. You need to get a check issued for this. You go to the treasury department or go to the the banking person. He will prepare a check and give it to you, because we are not, I cannot give cash of 1,25,000. Now what this person might do, this person may go to the same person. He says that cashier is telling that 1,25,000 cash cannot be paid. Now the person realizes, no, why 1,25,000? It's only 12,500. Then when he opens the document and then checks, he will realize, okay, I have given wrong amount here. Instead of 12,500, I posted for 1,25,000. This is my mistake. Now these kind of a checkpoints, these kind of a control points are always there in any organization, wherein if one person is doing a transaction, he is not completely responsible for the full transaction life cycle. He will post the transaction, remaining activities are performed by the other team members or other department, so that there will be a dual control, there will be a monitoring. Now in this case, once they realize that okay, the entry is posted incorrectly, now they want to rectify this. I don't want to put 1,25,000. Please help me to make it 12,500. Now okay, I see that, okay, let me check. Go to this document, go to change document. We know that how to display a document using FB03. If you wanted to change a document, it is FB02. Let's reconnect to the server. Sec. Okay, so once you open the change document screen, there you need to verify once a document has been posted, what details, what information can be changed, what information cannot be changed. There we need to identify whether we can amend or whether we can update the amount of a posted document. Once the document is posted, can we change amount from 1,25,000 to 12,500? If it is possible, fine, we can go ahead and then change it. If it is not possible to change the amount, the only solution is you need to reverse the document, repost a document with the correct amount. Meaning slowly you need to focus on the entries which are getting posted, what kind of issues are coming, for each of the issue how we are going to rectify it. Let me go to FB02. FB03 is to change the to display the document. FB02 is to change the document. I'll give FB02, enter. In this, give the document number, give your company code. This is related to fiscal year 2024. Press enter. You are on the change document screen. We wanted to change the amount. Amount is part of document line item segment. This is the line item. Open the rent line item. If you open the rent line item, you are not able to see any modification screen or any editable screen related to amount. Amount column is 1,25,000, but it is grayed out. This is grayed out means I am not able to make any changes to it. Whereas if you look at assignment screen or if you look at the text field, I am able to modify this. I am able to modify this. But in the similar way, I am not able to modify my amount. When we see that the amount is not modifiable once the entry is posted, if you find any mistake had happened, you need to pass a rectification entry or reclassification entry, or you need to cancel the entry. In this case, you cannot pass the rectification entry. Rectification entry means adjustment entry. Rectification means adjustment. If it is posted for 1,25,000 instead of 12,500, I can post an adjustment entry for 1 lakh. So that the account becomes 12,500. But what about the amount that I've already deposited? If I post this rectification entry, in this scenario, this is not correct. Wherever you have the excess payment or excess posting, rectifications are not allowed. Rectifications are allowed, recommended only when you post shortage amount. Instead of 12,500, if you post 1,250, you posted the entry but for less amount. What you need to do, you can post one more entry for the balance amount, so that these two entries will become the correct amount. This is possible, this is applicable, this is recommended if you post less amount. When you post excess amount, when you post additional amount, it is not recommended to pass a rectification entry, because you need to recover the amount whatever is posted if it is related to payment. Otherwise, you will get unnecessary confusions, and everybody will get unnecessary confusions. Everybody will raise different queries why the amount is posted. And slowly we need to avoid it. It's not about that passing the adjustment entry. You can adjust this even by posting a JV, but you need to see the impact from the business point of view. Is this a recommended solution? Is this is something which a business uses? Is this is something a client follows? Nobody will follow, nobody use this kind of a situation in excess payment. Here you paid excess payment of more than 1 lakh. Entry is posted more than 10 times, which is not allowed by anybody. What we need to do, we need to cancel it. When you're talking about cancellation, you're talking about reversing the document. Cancellation is nothing but reversing the document. How do you reverse a document? If you wanted to reverse the document, first you need to copy the document number. Copy this, and before you reverse the document, what needs to be done? Click on document list here. Before you reverse the document, click on document list, input your document number here, and input your fiscal year here, leading ledger, click on execute. If you click on execute, this is how it is showing. In your layout, you need to bring something called reversed with. This is supposed to be maintained in your display document layout without fail, even when you are in the project. Okay, when you put this, what this information is going to provide, if you look at this document number, next to the document number, you will find reversed with. If reversed with is blank, this document is the original document. If reversed with is blank, this is the original document. If reversed with is having any number, then this is a cancelled document. Meaning net impact is nil for that document because it is cancelled. If it is cancelled, reversed with will get filled up with cancellation document number. Let us verify this, how this is going to work now. What I'll do, I want to reverse a document now. If you want to reverse a document, FB08 is the screen. If you want to reverse a document, FB08 is the screen. Go to FB08 and here it is giving you reverse document header data. Input your document number, company code, fiscal year. As we discussed, in entire SAP, every document is identified by 3 key fields: document number, company code, fiscal year. After that, give your reversal reason. Open the drop down. Reversal reason, you will be using only 2. Even in the real time, we will be using only 2, 1 and 2. Only 2, which is your 1 and 2. 1 is your wrong posting, 2 is your wrong period. This is nothing but you will be using reversal reason 1 if you are reversing it in the current month. If you are reversing it in the current month, reason number 1. If you are reversing it in the previous month, reason number 2. Meaning currently you are in February month. If you are reversing the February month transaction, this is your 01. If you are reversing January month transaction, in January month you are going to use reversal number 02. Current period, closed period. This we will see when we are posting different entries, reversals. You will automatically understand this. First, try to focus how a document is reversed. Later on, you can easily understand what are all the scenarios, criteria that needs to be followed while reversing a document. Now here, when you put this reason number 1, whenever you put reason number 1, you do not have to give any posting date. Reason number 1 will take the posting date from the document automatically. But when you put reason number 2, system will not take the date automatically. You have to manually feed the posting date. Now here you should always click display before reversal because you do not know whether you are giving right document number or not. The same way where there is a typo mistake, instead of giving 12,500, we have given 1,25,000. In the similar way at the document number also there may be a typo error. Instead of giving document number 11, I may give 21, 31, 12, 13, 14. So if I blindly put the number, if I click on reverse, I may end up reversing one more document. Meaning every mistake may lead to inconsistency or wrong representation in the system. Whatever you do, you cannot undo in SAP. There is no Control Z option in SAP. You cannot undo, you cannot do Control Z, you cannot revert whatever you have done. Only way is either reverse it, rectify it, reclass it. Meaning you need to pass corrections only. You cannot cancel or you cannot hide whatever the mistake that had happened. Mistake must be corrected in SAP. Mistake cannot be hidden. So I need to make sure whenever I want to display, I have to click on this. When I click on display before reversal, this is not the reversal simulation. Most of the times we feel that this is the simulation of the reversal document. This is not the simulation of reversal document. This is the display of original document which you are planning to reverse. This is the original document display wherein rent account is debited, cash account is credited. Wherein rent account is debited, cash account is credited. What we need to do here is you have to look at whether rent is on the debit side or rent is on the credit side. If you look at the rent is on the debit side. How I am able to say rent is on the debit side? Point number 1, posting key 40. Point number 2, this is a positive amount. Point number 1, posting key 40. If you are able to identify with posting key debit credit, fine. If not, look at the amount. If not, look at the amount. If you find positive amount, it is debit. If you find a negative amount, negative means minus sign appears on the right hand side. Extreme right of your document after last 00, there is a minus sign, meaning this is a credit number. Now, when you click on this reverse document, it will post one more entry with the same parameter. This document will be taken as it is with the same information, everything. Only one change is your posting key. Debit becomes credit, credit becomes debit. Meaning currently rent is having debit balance, system will post an entry with rent credit. Cash is having a credit balance, system will post the entry with cash debit. I will come back. Now I have not yet reversed. Before reversal, if you look at your GL account list, if you look at the GL line item report, in the GL line item report, currently the value is 1,25,000. I want to make it a 0. First of all, I wanted to make it 0, and on this particular date, I need to make sure rent amount shows 12,500. Before I make 12,500, I need to cancel the impact of current document, for which I am planning to cancel or I am planning to reverse the document. Let me go to FB08. This is where here document number, company code, fiscal year, reversal reason 01, because this is related to current month document. Current month transaction, current month cancellation 01, previous month transaction, current month cancellation reason number 2. Okay, if you are cancelling the current month document, reason number 1. If you are cancelling previous month transaction, reason number 2. Okay, click on save. When you click on save, document number 12 got posted. Now, the moment the document got posted, immediately go to display document screen. Immediately go to display document screen. In the display document screen, earlier what happened, against this document number, reversed with was blank. Reversed with blank means this is the original document, this is not cancelled. Now let me go back one level. Same input parameter, same input criteria. Let me execute this once again. If I click execute this again, now reversed with is showing a number. Reversed with is showing a number. Wherever reversed with is updated with a number, this is a cancelled transaction. This transaction does not have any impact on your report because debit credit will become 0. Net impact of this transaction is 0 because this is cancelled. Cancelled document is this. Similarly, if I come to report now, since we have cancelled the document, we are expecting the amount to become 0. Since we are expecting amount to become 0, after cancellation, you need to verify whether amount is becoming 0 or not. How do you verify? You need to refresh the report. How do you refresh the report? From the same screen, go to list on the top left. You will get a pop-up screen. Click on refresh here. If you click on refresh, let's see what is going to happen. The amount has become 0. Why amount had become 0? Because you cancelled it. When you cancelled the SA document type, it had become AB document type. AB is usually used for cancellation purpose. Okay, whenever you reverse SA document type, this is giving AB document type. Now the amount has become 0. Let us post the correct document now for the right amount. For that, what I'll do, I'll go to the document. Now what we did cancellation of the transaction or reversal of the transaction. You reversed the original entry wherein the net impact had become 0. Now post a fresh entry for the right amount. For that, let me go to FB50 again. Same date I'll put rent to, rent account debit. I'll put cash account credit. This is debit, credit. Now I'll put right amount of 12,500. Go right side, profit center. This time I had given debit credit right value of 12,500. Let me click on post this. Okay, now this document is posted. Let me go to GL report again. GL line item report. Let me refresh the report. Now we are expecting 12,500 to appear here. Refresh. When I refresh it, it is giving 12,500. But if it is giving 12,500, is it giving a clear representation? No. It is giving 1,25,000 positive, 1,25,000 negative, and then 12,500 positive. Anybody who's looking at it, they will easily understand, okay, somebody posted for the wrong amount, then they cancelled it, again they posted it. Even though you did a mistake, you cannot hide your mistake in SAP. Everything is visible, everything can be seen when you pull the reports, and you cannot hide it. Meaning, that is the only reason whenever you post any document in SAP, you're not supposed to blindly click on save. There is something called simulate option. There is something called a simulate general ledger option. You have to understand the purpose of simulations. The purpose of simulation is to avoid this kind of a mistake, because when you simulate, you can see what is the accounting entry, where debit is going, where credit is going, which accounts are getting affected, whether there is any P&L impact or whether there is any balance sheet impact. If yes, how it is impacting. From the simulation itself, you can easily identify. That is how you have to look at the document. That is how you need to understand the document whenever you post any entry. It's not that you are able to simulate, you are able to control as post, document number got generated, no error. Don't think that way. That way you are not learning anything. Because in the real environment, when the users are posting, they will make a lot of mistakes. They will make a lot of mistake. They will come back to you when everything is messed up. They want you to fix it. They will make a mistake, they will try to rectify it, they will do something else will happen, and then the report is completely messed up. Now they want you to assist identifying the transactions which needs to be reversed and showing the correct value of the report. They want you to advise, they want your expert advice. They want your expert advice, for which you may have to think first what happened, what was the entry, what you did. They may not tell everything whatever they did, because they know they did a mistake. Now they will not tell you everything whatever they did. I don't know, every time I'm using it from the last 5 years I'm working on this, nowhere it happened. First time this happened in my life like this. Nothing like that. They would have done something, because of that it would have happened, but they will not tell you what they did. You need to understand, you need to identify what happened, accordingly propose a solution. You cannot say no until you tell I will not give solution. You cannot say. Whether they tell you the reason, they do not tell you the reason, it is your responsibility, because they have approached you to provide a solution. Later what they will tell, they'll put everything on your side. Meaning there is a problem, a report is having some issues, balances are not matching. I am working with, or I am checking with the SAP FICO consultant. He is giving me the solution. Once I get a solution from SAP FICO consultant, I will sort it out. Meaning, according to the user, according to the client, it is now a pending issue with the FICO consultant. FICO consultant will have to provide a solution. First of all, we don't even understand what is the problem. Forget about the solution. Meaning, for no reason, it is pending with your head now. You need to understand. When I say you need to understand, this is how users will approach you. If everything is fine, there is no point, there is no work for user with you. When there is a problem, when there is an issue, when there is a help, assistance required, that is where user will come to you. And the moment user is approaching you, client is approaching you, means there is some work from you. And whatever the work, whatever the requirement that they provide, immediately it becomes pending from you. They say that requirement is given, we have explained it to FICO consultant, we are waiting for FICO consultant to come back with a solution. And they say that, yeah, even if your project manager, somebody is asking, you say, yes, I spoke to him, he explained me the problem, I am checking it. Now you are acknowledging indirectly that, yes, I spoke to him, I understand, now I am working on it. You cannot say I spoke but I did not understand it to anybody. You have to say, yeah, I discussed with him, I am checking this. This is how you need to tell, this is how you need to inform to anybody, either to your project team or to your client team. Meaning, knowingly or unknowingly, you are accepting that, yes, I am aware of this, I am working on it. But you only know whether you are able to understand, whether you are able to resolve it or not. But make sure you get the requirement clear. If you are not clear with the requirement, a situation scenario, please ask your client 1 or 2 times, they will make you understand. Unless you ask, they will not make you understand. Reason, every user, every client assumes that you are an experienced FICO consultant. You would have seen like this errors so many in your career. That's how they think. For them, you are an SAP expert. For your client, for your user, you are an SAP expert. So they don't expect you to ask so many questions to understand. They feel that even if I tell 2 lines, he will understand 1 paragraph from my line, 2 lines. That is how their expectation is. And you have to maintain that, and you have to make sure that unless it is required, you will not go back and ask simple questions. Certain things are very simple, straightforward. If you sit back and then look at it, you will be able to understand. Now here entry is posted, and what we did, we reversed the entry and then we posted another entry. What if there are so many entries to be reversed? Sometimes what will happen, so many entries to be reversed, or in the same thing, what I would say that no, somebody says that no, this entry is 1,25,000 only, not 12,500. Now you assumed that entry is 12,500. Whatever is posted for 1,25,000 is reversed. Now after this report is being looked at by your finance director or finance manager, they say that no, the amount of 1,25,000 is correct only. We agreed to pay the rent advance. Something they say that no, 1,25,000 is correct only. Who reversed it? Somebody says no, I don't know, we thought it is 12,500. It's a wrong entry, we reversed it. No, this is 1,25,000 only. Please reinstate the entry. When they say please reinstate the entry or please put back 1,25,000 in the rent account, then no other go, you need to bring back the 1,25,000. Now here comes the point, how I will bring back this 1,25,000 again. Should I post one more entry for 1,25,000, or I can open the same accounting entry as it is? Before that, if you go to display document, against document number, currently there is a reversal document number. You need to make sure this reversal document number is removed from here, so that this entry becomes original. This entry becomes original when there is no reversal entry. Now this has become dummy because there is a reversal entry. Impact has become 0. Now your requirement is to reinstate, reopen this entry. For that you need to cancel or you need to reverse the reversal entry. For that you need to reverse the reversed entry. Copy the document number which is reversed, which is 101 all zeros 12. Go to reverse document here. In the reverse document, put this document number, press enter. Now which document I am reversing? I am reversing the reversed document. I am reversing reversed document. Click on save. Click on save. Now I am able to reverse the reversed document. Now what is our expectation? Our expectation to have this document as original. This is original document representing there should be nothing in the reversed with. It should get removed from here. Reversed with should become blank. For that, go back one level. Click on execute. When I click on execute, this reversal has become blank again. This has become blank, meaning the original document is brought back again. When this original document is brought back again, now what are we expecting in the report? Currently this is your 1,12,500. Now the expectation is 12,500 plus 1,25,000. So it should be 1,37,500 is the expected figure now. Let us verify if our report shows 1,37,500 or not. For that, go to list on the top, click on refresh. Now you are able to see 1,37,500. Meaning, if you are posting a document, if you are making the corrections, cancellations, you need to understand what is happening in your accounting. That is what is your consulting skill. Not about posting a document, reversing a document, that anybody can do it. Even a fresher can do it. Even the end user can do better than us, all those activities. But as a consultant, what is possible, what is not possible, what will happen if you do it, what will happen if you do that, is what you need to provide. That is where you are a consultant. Otherwise, if you are posting the entry, if you are reversing the entry, if you are generating the report, this is all end user activities. But end user does not know different ways of using it, how SAP functions and all, what are all the different possibilities, user is not aware of. That is why as a consultant, you are here to assist them, to guide them, to instruct them, do this, no, this is possible, this is not possible, system will not allow this, or this is not recommended. Based on your experience, based on your understanding, you are going to inform or you are going to talk to the user in a different way. Now the amount has become 1,37,500. Now if you see this, everything is connected to accounting only. Number, if I post, what is happening, if I don't post, what is happening. And if you are not practicing like this, if you're not posting entries like this, you will end up practicing data entry. You're not doing all these kind of activities, you are practicing data entry to become an end user. That is not the intention of anybody. You need to understand what are all the possible mistakes that end user can perform and how do you rectify it. And when you're able to see it, you can easily figure out, you can easily understand, okay, if this is the problem, what are the ways, how do I rectify it? You will slowly start understanding, thinking about the problem. You will automatically get the solution. That is what is required. Now, all these kind of things you can tell us your support tickets. User had created one entry, they reversed it. Now they wanted to reverse the reversed entry. They asked if it is possible or not. These kind of things you can tell. Or these kind of things when you tell to somebody that this was the requirement that was received and this is how I worked on it. Then the other person feels, yes, whatever he is talking, something different. I mean to say practical things he is talking, not like I posted a GL document FB50 F-02 document simulate post display document GL report. This anybody can tell, whoever is trained on SAP FICO. Please do not talk certain points which will give a trained candidate impression to the other person. Okay. Now next one, what I'll do is, let me go to Excel sheet. Here what we did, we posted for wrong amount, we reversed it, and then we posted with the right amount. We again reversed the original entry which was reversed, so that original entry was brought back. I know this is a little tricky, little confusing, but when you sit and practice in an Excel sheet, you will have a clear clarity. But the point is, you need to sit and practice, or at least sit and write down in a piece of paper in an Excel sheet, if this is the entry, this is what is going to happen in my report. Understand how this is affecting, how this is impacting in your report. Reason why we need to do it, because sometimes we feel that, no, why we have to look into all these kind of things when everything is related to end user. Data entry is client responsibility. Yes, client responsibility, but you are the one who is suggesting them. We are suggesting the client to reverse the document. When you are suggesting to reverse the document, your client will tell what is the impact, what will happen after reverse. Client is ready to reverse, but the user or client wants to know what is the impact after reversing, meaning they want you to tell what is going to happen if I reverse it. You cannot say I also don't know, let's reverse and see. They will not reverse it, because they need that confidence from you. If you reverse it, this is what is going to happen. If you give them that confidence, they will reverse it. Otherwise they will not have confidence, because you are not able to tell what is going to happen if I reverse it. Currently there is a problem. Now you are not telling me what is going to happen. You are not sure this is going to happen, you reverse it. You are not talking in a confident way, you are not giving me confidence. No, reverse, nothing is happen, nothing will happen. You are telling, no, let's see what will happen after reversing. Your client will never reverse it. Why he will not reverse it? Because he is not having the confidence in what you are telling. This is quite common in the consulting. This is quite common, I mean to say. They want to know what is going to happen if I reverse it. Already there is a problem. You are asking me to further cancel it. You are asking me to do something else. Now I want to understand, I am ready to do it, but tell me what is going to happen, because I have not done these things before. I am first time to this kind of entries and all mistake. I want to know what is going to happen. Accordingly, I will decide whether to do it or not. As a consultant, you need to tell, if you reverse it, if you do it, this is what is going to happen. Then your user feels comfortable, confident, then he will go ahead and do what you tell. Otherwise they will not do it. Sometimes even if they do it, after they do what you told, if it is not solving the problem, it may become further more complicated. They will put everything on your head. They say that, no, I have done this because the FICO consultant told me this. Everybody will come to you stating, why did you recommend this? Why did you ask them to reverse this document? Don't you know that this will create the further problem? Meaning things may go at any direction if you are not sure, if you are not confident. That is the reason whenever you look at in your system landscape, you have something called development, quality, production. We are all aware that in the system landscape you have development, quality, production. Now whenever you get these kind of issues, whenever you get these kind of scenarios where you do not have sufficient experience or you do not have sufficient knowledge, how this is going to work? If you have confidence, yes, this is what is going to happen, you can straight away talk to your user, go ahead, do it, nothing is going to happen. But make sure you are confident first. If not, if this is not going to take much time, spend some 10-15 minutes, ask your client, give me some 10-15 minutes, let me check and come back to you. Or tell that, let me replicate this scenario in the test system and I'll come back to you. What you do, log into development or quality. Log into the development system or log into the quality system, create the similar scenario there. When I say create the similar scenario, post one document for the wrong amount. Whatever the mistake that they did, you create the same mistake in the development system or quality system. Okay, and then post the document, try to do the same mistake and then see if you are able to rectify it with the solution that you are planning to provide. Okay, and this is recommended wherever you find something is different, wherever you feel something is a little tricky, I need to verify before I confirm the solution. So this is what any consultant will do in any project. You will be replicating or you will be reproducing the issue in the test server, either in the development system or in the quality system. Now, one more point that I want you to understand here is there is something called OSS note. Okay, when you're talking about OSS note or raising an incident with SAP, people use with the different terms. OSS means online SAP support. Sometimes as a consultant, you may not be able to understand what is the problem. Okay, then what you need, you will have to take the help from SAP directly. For that, you have to raise an incident with SAP, for which you will be logging into SAP portal and then you will log in with your company's SUSE ID password. You will raise OSS. And when you raise this OSS note to SAP, you have to explain what is the problem to SAP. For that, again, you need to write what is the problem. You need to write SAP. You do not know which SAP consultant will connect from which part of the world. You may raise the incident from India and you may get some consultant, connecting to you from China. Or you may raise it from India, you may get some consultant connecting from US, Singapore, Dubai, Malaysia, anywhere. Because from SAP, it's a global support. The moment you raise the ticket to SAP, based on the impact, based on the priority, whatever you have selected, any consultant can approach you from SAP. So it's all over the chart only. Over the chart in the sense, they have this online support portal. You will put a message there, you will click on submit and they will respond to the same this one, they will submit. And when you refer it, they want you to explain the detailed description of the issue, meaning they want you to provide the steps that are executed to reproduce the issue. Reproduce the issue means we are telling that there is a problem. You're telling that there is a problem which you are not able to rectify it. Now, SAP, they cannot straight away give you the solution for your problem. They want you to tell me how this problem is coming, why the problem is coming. You have to tell, for example, you are creating a document whatsoever. Tell that I have executed these 4 steps. Give 4 steps, step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4. Give 4 steps. In for each step, you need to give the screenshot. In step number 1, this information, step number 2, this information, and prepare a Word document attached to the SAP. Then they will look at it. They will ask your system credentials, system connection. You will inform the basis consultant. Basis consultant will open the system and he will share the logon credentials with the SAP. Now SAP team will log into your system and they will try to reproduce the issue. Reproducing the issue or replicating a scenario means whatever you are doing in production, exactly the same thing you are doing it. It's like a copy of your transaction. When you do it, whatever the error you are getting in production system, live system, same error, same mistake that you are supposed to get it in the test system. When you get it, SAP will see, okay, this is because of this reason. If this is other than consulting error, SAP will give a solution. If it is consulting error, SAP will not give solution. You have to remember this. What is consulting error? What is other than consulting error? Meaning you have a problem. For this particular problem, if you maintain any configuration changes, the problem will get sorted out. SAP will tell this is the consulting problem. Please contact your SAP consultant. SAP will never tell what needs to be done. SAP will tell please contact your SAP consultant and they will close the ticket. If it is not a consulting issue, if this is a product related issue, if there is a defect bug in the system, they will give you instructions what needs to be done, or they will fix it from their side, or they will give any one SAP note number wherein they say, please refer this SAP note, rectify this. Okay, now in either ways, what we are doing, all these kind of things, you are reproducing the issue. Reason, in production system, certain things cannot be experimented. Production is not for experiment. If you are not sure about what is going to happen, immediate thing what you need to do is log into either development system or quality system as per your choice, whatever you are comfortable with. It is preferred that you will use quality system. Reason why we prefer quality system is, quality system is updated with production data, maybe every 3 months, every 6 months, depending on the client. For every 3 months, for every 6 months, whatever the data that they have in production, they copy to quality system. All the masters transactions, everything will be copied to quality system, so that you don't find any data inconsistency in quality. This is what is going to happen. When you do it, here you have to reproduce the issue, meaning create the same problem, try to rectify it, and look at the result impact. If you are convinced, yes, this is going to solve the problem, prepare a document if possible, propose to solution or steps to fix so and so problem. Step number 1, post this. Step number 2, this. Step number 3, this. Step number 4, this. Then what you are going to do, you are going to share the document to your client, or you will schedule a meeting asking them to execute the steps which are documented in the proposed solution. Then their problem will be resolved. Now this is all, or this is how you are going to work when you are in a project. Meaning things may be very simple, but the way that you adopt, the way that you resolve the problem may be a little tricky. Okay, now slowly these kind of terminologies points you have to get used to. Overnight, in one go, you will not be able to understand it. Initially this will create confusion. Initially this is a little tricky, going over the above your head. That is still fine, because we are discussing these points for the first time. We will be repeating these points multiple times. There are a lot of things which you have to know, but which cannot be practiced in SAP. This is one of the things. When somebody is asking you to, can you please replicate this scenario in quality? What do you mean by replicate this scenario in quality? You may not understand, but these are all the quite common things which we will be using in the day-to-day consulting life. And these things cannot be practiced, because these are all not practical things where you can practice it. These are all the general points which you must be aware of as a FICO consultant, meaning these are over and above your configuration knowledge. Okay, this is related to the first problem, wherein amount is this much and it is posted excess. On the other side, if it is posted for
Uh,
less amount, if it is
Sir,
posted
one
for
minute.
less amount,
Here in the first scenario, we still not reversed the 12,500. So it's wrong, right? Because it's more.
no, I kept that as open only. If you want to reverse, you can reverse it. I only showed how to do it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Now in the second case, if the amount is posted as 1,250 instead of 12,500. Now here what you can do, you can post it in a different way. Different way in the sense, amount is posted as 12,500, sorry, 1,250 instead of 12,500. You don't have to reverse it, because you have not made any excess payment, you have not made any excess transaction. You can simply say that, okay, already one entry is posted for 1250. What I will do to make it 12,500, some amount is a shortage. So what I'll say is equal to 12,500 minus 1250. This is your 11,250. So 1250 is already posted, and then I'm going to add 11,250. What I will do, I will ask the user to post, or I will post if I am the user, for the balance amount of 11,250, so that the total will become 12,500. I don't need to make any cancellations here. If I am cancelling it, I need to give explanation why this is cancelled and all. Nobody is going to look at that depth why you cancelled and all, unless you posted excess amount. If you posted a shortage amount, nobody will cancel it. Everybody will post the another JV for the balance amount to make it correct, because there is nothing wrong here. You posted for less amount, you post for the balance amount, make it equal. Here you are cancelling is up to you, but this is not recommended in this case. This is not recommended because if you cancel it, instead of one record, you will end up showing 3 records. If you cancel and then post it, instead of one record, you will end up displaying 4 records, 3 records, which is not recommended. Your report will not be accurate. Nobody will understand why this entry is posted, why this is cancelled, what is the reason, because when you cancel it, normally we don't put any reasons in the cancellation. Nobody knows, God only knows why the entry is cancelled. The user who cancelled will forget after 1 hour. I don't know why I cancelled. Maybe this could be the reason, that could be the reason. So to avoid these kind of things, based on the error, client will act accordingly. Meaning, as a consultant, you have to understand what is the situation, how it has to be resolved. Because they are not expecting end user solutions from you, they are expecting consulting a solution from you. End user solution is like, if I tell that, sir, this entry is posted wrong, how do I do it? No problem, go to FB0 to reverse it. That user also knows. That user also knows that I need to reverse and then repost it. Now the reason why they approached you to get, if you can give any better solution without cancelling, if there is any other way through which I can sort out my problem, that is the reason. But most of the times what we will do, we will give the same solution which user is giving. And remember, most of the end users are SAP trained users only. Another fact that you have to accept, most of the end users that you come across in your SAP FICO consulting, wherever you see your client side, majority of them are SAP trained, SAP dropouts only. They all know what you're talking about. They will also Google it when they get any error. They will also Google it. When you know these kind of things, when you're talking to the user, when you're discussing with the user, you will be conscious. Otherwise, what we will think, we feel that, the user does not know anything about SAP. Whatever I will tell, they will believe in it. They will not do it. They are even more smart than you. Before they reach out to you, they would have Googled it. Here I'm getting error in this one. Because they would have seen from consultant only. Many consultants will Google in front of user only. They will say, okay, if you're getting any error, then you're Googling and then giving me the solution. Let me also Google it. User also starts Googling it. User also will get lot of YouTube videos. They will also watch. The only point is user will not have authorization to solve the problems because user does not have the consulting role. He cannot open the screen. He cannot make any settings. That is the reason they have to reach out to the consultant just because they are the authorized person to make changes in the system. Sometimes when your user is saying that I want this, sometimes what we will do, whatever we know, we will tell. If we do not know, we will tell that no, this is not possible. No, you cannot do it in SAP. When you do, or whenever you say that no, not possible and all, please be double sure that this is really not possible. This is really complex. Otherwise, just like that, you don't know, you have not worked on it. This is a big one, this takes a long time. For these reasons, please do not say no, not possible to your user. Otherwise, you may receive another email for that from your user stating, putting a Google link, putting a YouTube link. This happens. This really happens. Sometimes if I am the user, I am asking for this particular thing, you say no, that is not possible, you have to enter manually only. Then I might reply, dear FICO consultant, can you please look at the below link, and then that below link may be a Google link wherein the similar requirement whatever I have asked is discussed there. Somebody would have given a solution there. Then it sounds very bad at that situation. Some user is giving you a Google link, YouTube link to watch and then give me a solution. And why they are coming to that situation? Because you would have given some information wherein it is not possible, or you would have talked to them in a negative way. No, I don't think this is possible. That is where they will also explore it. Why this is not possible? Let me check how others are doing. Because what we will do, what we will think as a consultant, we will think, no, I don't know, means this is not possible. What your client will think, if this is not possible, how other companies are doing. That is how your client thinks. And we think, if I don't know, this is not possible. There's a huge difference between the way a consultant thinks, the way a client thinks. That's why we will not be able to meet the client expectation or the business expectation. This is the only reason is our thinking. We think in a limited area, client thinks from a broader area. They see that no, there are many companies across the world who are using SAP. How they are doing it? Is everybody managing like this? No, this is not possible. There must be a way, there must be a solution. Please identify a way, solution, and then inform to us. So you need to talk to them in a different way, give them some confidence. Okay, let us check, let us verify. We will see how this is used in the other client, other project. We will also check with our seniors and all. Something you'll have to tell to them so that they will get convinced. Okay, thank you, please check and let us know. Whether you check, whether you don't check it, nobody knows. After 2 days, after 3 days, tell them that we actually checked, in the other client also they are managing like this only. SAP also does not recommend you to use like this. When you use certain keywords, they will get convinced. But immediately when you tell no, nobody will get convinced. You should know how to talk to your client, how to convince your user and all. And this is what is expected from you as a consultant in anywhere, in any organization, either from your project team or from the consulting team. End of the day, you need to have that convincing skill. Pay less focus on your configuration and all. If you get different scenarios, if you have to face your client, if you need to talk to your user and all, focus on those areas. How you are going to tackle the situation, how you will talk to your client. It's not that interview they are asking something, we need to explain something. There you need to interact with them, get their requirement, understand, and whatever you know, try to provide a solution. If you're able to do it, that is more than enough, and that is in fact very easy. Okay, right. For the second one, this is what I want you to do it. Post one entry for 1250 and the balance amount you post one more entry. See if you're able to make it 12,500. Instead of reversing the entry, if you want, you can reverse 1250 entry, you can post 12,500 entry. And next one, if GL account used was incorrect, assuming that GL account used was incorrect. For example, instead of rent, I would say wages GL was used. Assuming that instead of rent, wages GL was used. Now, after displaying the document, you came to know, okay, the entry is posted, but the wrong GL account was used. Now, wrong GL account is used from the same category or from a different category. It is from the same category. Let's say GL account is used was wrong, but from the expense only. Instead of rent, user had selected wages account. Okay, no problem. What I will do here, I'm not going to ask user to reverse the entry because the entry is correct only. It has affected your PNL, it had affected your balance sheet. But instead of one head, it had affected another head. So what I will do, I will tell them to reclass the GL. I will tell them to reclass the GL. When I'm talking about reclass the GL, I am going to tell them to pass one more entry wherein rent will get debited, wages will get credited. Because rent is debited, wages is credited. Earlier there is a debit in wages, now you are putting a credit in wages. Debit and credit from the wages will become zero and debit is now transferred to rent account. Now your entry is fixed, sorted out. Your report, everything will be fine just by passing this rectification entry or reclassification entry. By passing this entry, you can sort out the problem. You don't have to reverse it, repost one more time, not required, because ideally it is not creating any major difference, major issue. So I can simply pass a reclassification entry. Next one, if the profit center is not correct. Assuming if the profit center is not correct, what you will do, you cannot pass the reclassification entry. If the profit center is not correct, there is no other go. Reverse and repost. If you post with wrong profit center, no other option. You have to reverse the entry, repost the entry with correct profit center. For example,
Ajay, sorry.
document.
Hello.
Yes.
If profit center is not correct, we can do the rectification entry, right? Debit, same entry we can use and we can reverse the entry with a different debit credit.
No, because profit center will be there on both the sides. Your document will have debit, credit, profit center.
Yeah.
If profit center is not correct, debit is not correct, credit is also not correct.
Yeah, but 4 line items we can create the same this one, no? That we can reclassify and we can rectify the other 2 line items with the correct profit center, right? Like that opposite.
No, reverse negative posting you can do it, but that is not recommended. When I look at the first entry, it will not give that, it will show that this is original entry. If you reverse it,
Okay.
the moment you open the document, on the top it will show that this is a cancelled entry. For example, now this is the entry. When I display this entry, on top of it there is something called a reversal document.
Yeah.
So this will give an indication that okay, this document is cancelled. If you don't get this, this represents that this is correct original entry, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
This is original entry. I see that okay, somebody posted in wrong profit center. Again, the person who is using it, he is not aware that whether this is corrected or not. Reason, he is looking at this whether it is cancelled or not. If it is not cancelled, one more person also may pass the rectification entry. Possible or not?
Yeah, that is possible, because we usually what we do, no, as an end user, wherever there is a CC, a cost center or profit center mistake, we will just do the rectification entry. So we have not registered. So that is why I asked. It's okay, no problem.
No. Cost
Yeah.
center you can rectify because multiple cost centers will represent same profit center.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, the moment profit center is changing, you have to reverse it because each profit center will show different area of responsibility. That we will talk once we come
Okay.
to the cost center accounting. There I will explain.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
the
Thank
last
you.
I
one
have
is your
options also,
1
Ajay.
minute. Sorry.
I have changed the. I am also end user. Bank entries are some of the time it is be credited to the wrong profit center. I have changed it to the profit center to profit center in real scenarios.
No, you can use it. You can use it, but depending on the scenario. Again, there are multiple scenarios. For that, we need to talk about something called document splitting. Once we talk about document splitting, that is where you will be able to understand. There are different ways to sort out these issues because there is no straightforward solution. You can cancel the entry, you can, the reclass the entry, you can post one more entry by passing negative amount and then the right amount. End of the day, what we are looking at this particular account, the balance should appear as correct. Agree? That is was the
Yeah,
overall
yes,
verification. And to
yes,
get
yes.
get to that number, there are multiple ways. And which way we are referring is depending on the user, is depending on the consultant who is working on it. Now what we're trying to understand, we're trying to understand what are the different possibilities. Now you can sort it out in any way, but the end of the day, you need to have a clarity that after performing the rectifications, corrections, what is the expected number, whether we are bringing that number there or not. Whether it is user or anybody, they are not going to concern about what is done in the system. They will only verify in my PNL whether I'm getting 137,500 or not. Am I correct?
Yes, yes.
What we did is immaterial to them. You do whatever you want. Make sure that in my report it will appear this number. And to bring it, there may be different ways. So all these ways is what we have to practice. We have to explore when you're practicing. When you sit on the system, when you practice, that is how you need to think. Okay, I'm doing this. Is there any other way I can sort it or I can fix the solution for it? Because there may be different ways. Some ways may be, a little tricky, complicated. Some ways may be very easy. Now which one you're adopting, and when you get any cross questioning from your client, now this is very lengthy process. Again we need to do a lot of things. You need to justify them, why you're telling this as a solution and all. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Yeah. The last one is document type is not correct. If your document type is not correct, we know that from the header, document type cannot be changed. If your client is insisting, no, I want you to represent or I want you to reflect this entry in a particular document type, no other go. Again, you need to reverse it, repost it with corrected document type. Meaning, once entry is posted, there are many situations where changes are not possible. The only way either to reverse the document or to reclass the document or to cancel the document. Now when you will reverse it, when you will cancel it, how you will do it is something that we need to slowly understand, because these are the things wherein you get lot of scenarios. When I say lot of scenarios, anything can be a problem. When you're talking about the mistakes, anything can be a mistake. What is the mistake, how the mistake had happened, how do we rectify it, is something that you have to understand by listing out the error according to your understanding. Simple scenarios only you need to take. Don't take complicated scenarios. First, you need to get the logic concept. What is the problem? How we are going to rectify it? Once you get it, you can easily work on any scenario, because the way that you think, the way that you propose the solution is in the similar approach. Okay, like this, you take some more entries and try to rectify it. Okay, and then in the upcoming sessions, I will be giving different other scenarios wherein we have to reverse and all, because these are all the ongoing topics in every sub module. Like when we start AP, AR and all, we will be working with these kind of points with practical examples, like whatever is supposed to happen by a client, by a user, those scenarios we will be replicating, we will be trying to understand with live examples. But now whatever we are doing is only to give you an understanding, to give you a heads up that these are all the things that we need to understand, not only from the T code point of view, how to go, how to reverse it. Scenarios you need to understand. If this is the situation, how we are going to work. If this is the situation, how we are going to work. All right. So any questions you can ask quickly, Gangadhar?
Hello, sir. Normally for the business process, after posting these entries, do we pay cash or bank transfer? That is the normal method. After posting entries only, we process the money to whoever, like for rental or vendor, whatever. Is it so, sir?
Yeah.
And
After posting entry
yeah,
only, they will initiate the transaction. You're right. First entry is posted in system, and then based on the entry, they will obtain the approval, and then they will initiate the financial transaction. It's not like first they will settle the transaction, then they will book the entry. It's not going to happen. You're right.
okay. And one more thing, normally in our example, 12,500, we have posted wrongly some 1,25,000. In this case, anyone can know because it is a huge difference. I mean, in another levels. But now,
Correct.
suppose instead of 12,500, if they have posted 13,500 and the cash is already processed to rental person, so how it will be reverted? It will be reverted in next month rental or something.
Correct. You will pass additional entry for the difference amount. The adjustment of 1,000 you will book in the rent account and in the cash account. Cash you cannot put the negative entry because you have to immediately settle. Otherwise, your cash will not tally, right?
Okay.
Because from the rental perspective, you can sort it out. But when you do the cash closing for that particular day, you know that the 12,500 is supposed to be paid, and instead you paid 1,000 excess. So your cash balance is showing a 1,000 rupees deficit. Agree?
Yes.
Now there has to be an explanation for it. Explanation by the cashier, because this is not cashier mistake. Correct? Now these explanations will have to be given, and you need to get the necessary approvals from the manager or so. And what they will do, they will talk to the person to whom this excess cash was paid. So they will speak to them either to refund that 1,000 rupees, or they say that okay, if you cannot refund it now, we will adjust in the next month amount.
Okay. When posting in next month, we'll reduce 1,000 rupees and post it.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Gandhi.
Yeah, bro. Bro,
Yes.
actually, we have seen the incorrect posting in the document currency level, right? So if we have a incorrect posting in the difference in the group currency, like there is a knockoff difference in the group currency, how can we adjust that entry?
That I'll show in the next session. That currency level differences I'll show in the next this one. I'll post one more
Oh,
entry wherein I will show document currency becoming zero, local currency becoming zero, but in group currency there is a leftover amount. It is not tallying, and your client
yes,
says I
yes,
want to clear it. That I will
yes,
show in the
exactly.
tomorrow's session. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
Yeah. Mahindra.
Hi, sir. Sir, my question also similar to that. For example, if you are posting in foreign currency and in local currency, because of exchange rate, if it is impacting, how we can rectify, sir?
This also I will be posting. The tomorrow's entry will clarify all these questions.
Okay.
Okay, I'll show the entry how you can post only to a specific currency, keeping other currencies as zero. And if there are any differences in any particular currency, how we are going to adjust it. This we will see in the tomorrow's class.
Okay. So I mean,
Okay.
if user directly posts it, then what will happen?
You have to pass the
Ignoring the
adjustment
post.
entry only. Either you need to reverse the entry or pass the additional adjustment entry to clear the
Okay.
differences.
Okay. Understood, sir.
Okay, yeah. Tejas?
Thank you.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So, sir, my question is related to the open item GL account in the last session, yesterday's session. Can I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, sir, so one entry you pass yesterday's session is rent account debit to rent account payable. So, sir, rent account payable is also open item management. It is related to the current liability. So, sir, at that time, why we are not posting any accounts payable like vendor name? Because obviously, rent account or rent payable will definitely link to the sum of the vendor. So,
Mm-mm.
in that entry, why we are not assigning any vendor?
Because we have not started accounts payable. That's it. The point was only to understand open item management concept. Once we
Okay.
start accounts payable and all, then we will post the actual scenarios. Here, the intention was only to see how that report is working, that red symbol, green symbol, whatever we were getting, only
Yes.
to see how entries are getting
Okay.
posted. So, not to focus on that scenario what we are using.
Okay. Got it. So, sir,
Okay, to
actually,
run the full
right.
scenario, correct, you're right. To run the full
Yeah.
scenario, we need the other topics to be configured. We are yet to configure
Okay.
APA and all,
Hmm.
right? That is the reason certain things we can only see at the high level. Even the
Okay.
corrections, whatever we are discussing now, to see the actual corrections, what happens, we will have
Yeah.
to configure the remaining topics also. Only then you can see the practical scenarios, you will be able to understand. Now
Perfect.
what we are
Okay.
trying to do is only to get an idea. Okay, these things are there.
Right.
So that when we work on the different things, you are aware that okay, how you need to practice, what do you mean by a scenario, how issues will come in a
Yes.
project. Otherwise, what will happen? We will end up learning the T code, posting of a document, generating a report, like typical end user activity we will practice, which I don't want
Yeah.
anybody to do.
Yes, sir. Makes sense. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Suresh?
Yeah, hi Ajay. Actually, I am from batch 2. Okay, Ajay. Actually, I have paid the whole amount. Right now, I want to continue but I want to watch the old videos or that one. But right now, I want to any access and mail ID. Can you please provide Ajay? Actually, since last week I am pinging in group, but no one is responsive. Ajay. That's why I joined today meeting.
No, that is almost finalized. Okay, there were some email IDs. I think I sent a message in the yesterday, right? I
Yeah,
told
my
them
name
the
is.
person who was taking this one. No, they are adding the names which are
Hmm.
not there. So I think you would have messaged that your name is not there
Yes,
in
yes.
it. They took your names and they're creating additional group wherever those whose names are not there, they will be added to another email ID. Most likely today that activity is completed because I tried adding it yesterday, but I was getting error. Some
So,
email IDs are not correct.
to ping my name and ID and phone number in group or personally.
You will get a separate notification on it. Whoever
Okay.
is part of your group, you will be notified. But once I confirm to them, and they will confirm to that person who is related to your group, so that these things will not be communicated in the group. You will get to know. Most likely today or by tomorrow, you will have it.
Okay, because
Should
I
have been
want to try.
completed yesterday, but some
Mhm.
email ID, whatever is given, is not correct. You would have seen in the group, right? Some email ID was telling undelivered.
Okay.
That's the reason. But that will be sorted out. It's almost done. You will have the access most likely either from today or from tomorrow.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Sumit?
It's also not allotted
Hi, sir.
properly.
Is there any implication if I create a KR document type with a essay document type?
No implication, but sometimes what will happen when they pull the report, your reports are generated based on the document type. For example, for example, I would say for all the rental documents, I have to post with essay document type only. And I may be having a report wherein I will get all the rent postings, whatever had happened. In that report, if I put rent document should always represent SA document type. By mistakenly, a user is posting with AB. Technically, there is no change. Correct? Except a document type, technically there is no change. But
Yes, sir.
because when I'm generating the report, I'm giving my input criteria or my filter criteria as SA. Whenever you generate any report, you can filter based on the document type.
Yes, sir.
Right? If I put SA, because one entry is posted with other than SA, now my report is incorrect because one entry is
Yes, sir.
missing in the output. Now, if I add that document type, now I'm getting unwanted entries in my report.
Right, sir.
Right? Just to avoid these kind of things, you will be reversing it because some reports may be custom report. In the custom report, you may not have any the area where you can modify it. It is programmed in the backend. So unless that criteria is fulfilled, you will not get the right report. And this is where we usually call it as user discipline. You heard something called user discipline in the projects? There's something called user discipline, meaning not everything can be controlled by the system. Agree? You cannot
Yes,
put
sir.
restriction everywhere. If you put everywhere restriction, no user can work on the system. What you will do? Certain things we cannot control it. You have to have the user discipline. You need to inform your users, if this is the situation, this is the document type to be used. And if your user is making a mistake, because document type is something which is given manually by a user at the time of posting,
Yes, sir.
and if the user had given wrong document type, then it's a user mistake. And if the user was not aware he's a new joinee, it's fine. Then you will cancel it, you will repost it. But next time you need to make sure, or you need to give an internal email communication to all your users. This is something done by the end user, meaning the consultant client side, they will do it. They will say that for any rental documents or for any particular transaction related to this, kindly use document type SA only. Now it is the client side, they need to make sure that the user will follow the discipline. Clear?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Jagadish?
Hi, sir. Just I want to know about this GL account used was not incorrect. How to rectify that? We need to enter the one more entry or like how, sir?
Both
So
are
you were
possible.
telling.
You point number one, you can reverse the entry, post another entry. Point number two, you know that one entry is correct, one entry is not correct. For example, cash is posted correctly on the credit side. On the debit side, instead of rent, assuming wage is posted. Okay. So what you will
Okay.
do, you need to transfer from wages to rent.
So in the same entry, we can transfer the.
Another
Also.
entry. New entry you
Another
need to
entry.
post. In
Okay.
the another entry, you need to debit correct GL account, which is rent, and you need to credit the wrong account, which is your wages. In the original entry, wages is debited, correct?
Yes.
Now in the rectification entry, you will put wages on the credit side. Wages debit, wages credit will become 0.
Yes.
Now the debit is now given to the rent account. So amount will be transferred to rent account. In the wages account, amount will become 0. That is your reclassification entry.
Okay. So when cash will come, sir? So you are telling wages account credit. No? So we need to enter the
Cash will
cash.
not come because there is no problem in the cash, right? Cash was used correctly only.
So okay.
Okay, cash account is correct only rent account is wrong. Instead of rent account, some other expense was used. So you just need to transfer the expense from the wrong expense category to right expense category.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Srihari?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, during migrate your data configuration, we have deleted all the data in FAGLL03. So, is there any possibility if a end user has mistakenly entered 1000 entries, which are all are incorrect, and on a particular date he need to delete all the entries what he has entered, and we can use that screen for deleting all the entries.
If you wanted to delete, the only way is to delete everything, not certain things. If you delete, every accounting document posted will be deleted. Otherwise, no way that you can delete the entry.
In a one go you have deleted all the entries, no sir. So is there the same thing which can
No,
we do on a
that will
particular
not.
date?
No, that is not possible. That delete. It's kind of your mobile phone factory reset is there, right?
Yes sir.
It's it exactly similar to it. When you do it, everything will washed out. So it will be like a fresh phone again.
Okay.
So
So on a
you
particular
cannot
date we
select.
can do.
Not possible.
Okay sir. Thank you.
Okay, that scenario normally comes only when the system is with consultant. Once you hand over system to the client, that scenario itself is ruled out.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you sir.
All right, fine then. So the remaining questions I'll take tomorrow. Please remind me tomorrow before I start the session. Whosoever questions I could not take, I think I said I'll take, but I could not take it. Tomorrow before the session, we'll spend 10-15 minutes time for the questions which I could not answer today. Okay, fine then. So practice this. Take the similar examples like this. Whatever I have given is only to give you an idea. Similar to this, you can take additional this one and you can post it. Or if anybody can create some scenarios, you can put that scenario in the Excel sheet, take a screenshot, put it in the group. Those who are practicing can replicate those scenarios or can work on those scenarios. Like whoever is currently working as users or accountants as consultant, if you know that these are all the scenarios which you can practice, you can just write one-liner, two-liner scenario in the Excel sheet, take a screenshot of it, put it in the group, which will be helpful for others to practice. So that whatever the practice that they are doing is kind of all the practical scenarios to help everybody. Clear?
Ajay, 1 minute, Ajay. Ajay, yesterday I have joined the classes, 7:30. So can I get a previous classes recordings for practice?
That will be sorted out. Maybe in a day or two you will get it. You just put a message to me. I'm making note of everything. You're from B5, right?
Yeah, B5. Yeah, 7:30 class. Yes.
You will get it. It takes a little time for B5 to get the access of B4, but you will get it.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Fine then. So we'll connect at the same time tomorrow. Bye.